Hey there! In this tutorial it's all about character rigging. And first of all, you need a beautiful character like this one here. The character has been created by the amazing artist AnnaIvanir. What we also need is a tool. And the tool I will show you is for free. How cool is that? It is called Duik and you can download it on this website here. Okay, before we can import our cute character into After Effects, we have to prepare everything correctly in Illustrator. Each body part has to be placed on separate layers. Another important thing is that you name the layers in a correct way, so it will be easier to find the body parts later on in After Effects. Alright, so now let's import our character. Alright, this is it. Let's open it. And here we go. Just leave the settings as they are. Hit the OK button and here we go. Now let's double click the composition and let's check it. And as you can see, After Effects has created the identical structure from Illustrator. Okido, now let's change the color of the background so that it will be easier to work with our character and we can see everything super clear. That looks good. Alright. So now let's arrange the body parts that belongs to each other. That looks good. Alright, the next step is that we change the anchor point of each body part, and we will start with the head. This is this tiny little dot that you can see in the middle. We leave the head as it is, the same goes for the body, and now we will change the anchor point for the upper arm. The reason for doing this is pretty simple. The shoulder rotation should happen in this area here. We have to make sure that every rotation will happen at the right place, depending on the actual body part. So now let's continue this procedure with the remaining body parts. So now we have to make sure to link the body parts that belong to each other rigging-wise. So we will start to link the right hand to the right lower arm and the right lower arm to the right upper arm. We will do the exact same thing to the right leg. We will start with the shoe, then we will link to the lower leg and finally to the upper leg. So now please repeat this process to the remaining body parts. Finally, we will select all the body parts that were not linked yet. And now we can just link them all to the body layer. Great. Let's do a quick check with the body layer selected. Drag the character around and you see everything is moving with the body layer, so it works perfect. Alright, now let's open Duik. So here we can see the interface of Duik. Here we can change the size of the controllers. We will leave it to small. Here we can change the color. I will do this and change it to red because we have a green background. And obviously we want to see what we do. Alright, so let's jump right into it. With the right hand layer selected, we will create our first controller. Bam! And there it is. We have our first controller. Now we have to select the body parts and the controller we just created. Go to the Duik menu and hit the IK option. Now go to Create, and there it is, a new controller was born. Okay, let's check if everything works properly. And this looks good. As you can see, there is happening some strange movement in the arm, but we will fix that pretty soon. Let's go to this checkbox here, stretch, auto stretch, and just uncheck it. And now you can see everything is working great. Now let's do this very same workflow to the left hand. Let's create a controller first. So we go to this here, controllers, and hit create. Now select the hand, the lower arm and the upper arm, and finally the left hand controller. Go to IK and hit create. And again we will check it. Great. And now we have to uncheck the stretch checkbox. So open it and deactivate auto stretch, and there we go. Now let's do the exact same thing to the legs. So finally we want to create a body controller, so let's go to the controller setting first, because we want to have it look a little bit different. We will choose this little eye icon and change the size to medium, and now let's create one. Great. Let's reposition it to the center of the character. All right, that looks good. And now let's link the body layer to the body control layer. Yeah, that was easy. And let's check it. And as you can see, everything works fine, and we can now do some awesome animation with this character. What I would also like to have is a controller for the head. So let's change it back to the old look and change the size to small, and go to the head layer and hit create. Let's reposition the control layer for the head, and now let's click the head layer, because we now want to change the anchor point so that it will fit the position of the controller, because this is where the rotation will take place when we control the head. So let's finally link the head with the control, and as you can see, now we can rotate his head. Because we have just relinked the head to the head control, this is now what happens. The head is no longer moving with the body, so we have to fix that. Select the head control and just link it to the body control. And that's it. Again, let's do a quick check. And as you can see, everything is linked correctly. Okay, when we now rotate the head, you will notice that we will see the neck behind his head. So we have to reposition our head controller. That's pretty easy, so just go to the head controller and let's move it more towards the top. So this looks good. Let's do a little check, and now the rotation looks much better. All right, great. All right, some final words that concerns the hand controls. In case you want to do some fancy animation with the hands, for example, you want to have him one hand on his waist, or you want him to say hi. For that you have to change the angle of the elbow. In order to do this, you just go to this checkbox here and just click it. And as you can see, you can switch the angle, and now you can position the hand the way you like, and everything is great. Thank you so much for joining me in this tutorial. And now I will leave you with a short scene from our latest project.